8. Describe a leisure activity near or on the sea you want to try. A leisure activity that I love to do in the future is actually windsurfing, which is considered as an extreme sport. Windsurfing is actually kind of a combination of sailing and surfing. I got to know this while I was traveling along the coastal area with my friends in Australia during last summer. I saw a strong guy holding a huge flag thing on the water surface, which immediately aroused my interest. I would like to try it in Muine, but I'm not sure if I am allowed to do so. I know Muine has the sailing center, which once was the marina for the sailing competition in the past. You know, it is a coastal city with many small islands, and it's got very good area for sailing. I feel that windsurfing is not easy at all. As I mentioned, it has been regarded as an extreme sport. It requires both strength and skills. I assume the most difficult part of doing it is standing on the board while balancing the weight of the sail. You have to be fully prepared, both mentally and physically, for the unexpected waves that come to you. Well, the reason why I like to try this water sport is that I think it's a pretty good sport to challenge my limit. This challenge helps me to develop my courage and strength that are crucial for my entire life. You know, life is like windsurfing. You may never know what kind of waves will come to you next. But you gotta prepare for it. 9. Describe a live sports event you watched before. The sports match I am going to tell you is the final between Djokovic and Nadal in the 2012 Australian Open Tennis Championship. Although 8 years have passed and a lot of things have faded away from memory, this match is still as vivid as it happened yesterday. It was a Sunday. After dinner, I was planning to return to my room and play games, but then it occurred to me that I had not seen my parents for a whole week. It might be a good idea to spend some time with them together. So I sat on the couch and turned on the TV to see if there was anything interesting. When I was switching channels, I noticed that a station was broadcasting this match. It was already the third set of the 5 and Nadal was leading by 1. I thought this game would soon come to an end. But the persistence and determination of Djokovic were simply beyond my imagination. He never gave up a single opportunity, trying his best to save every shot. So was Nadal. From the 4th set, neither of them could maintain the lead for more than 5 minutes, and I could clearly see both of them had exhausted all their stamina. The only reason for this game to carry on was their iron will. Eventually, after nearly 6 hours intense competition, Djokovic won the champion. I was moved by the qualities they had shown in this game and realized how a strong will could push people beyond their limits. 10. Describe a jigsaw, crossword, etc. puzzle you have played. The puzzle I am going to tell you is Lubansuo, also known as the burr puzzle. According to the legend, this item was invented by the most well-known Chinese carpenter, Lu Ban, more than 2,000 years ago as a tool to test his son's intelligence to see if he was qualified to inherit his skills. It was given to me by my father as a birthday present when I turned 7. Back then, it was very popular in my hometown because people believed it had the potential to stimulate the intellectual development of children. It is said it can enhance children's perception of spatial structure and make their fingers nimbler. The burr puzzle had a 3-dimensional, symmetrical structure, presenting an image of a cross when you look at it from the opposite, like a cube extending its 6 sides a little. It was made of 6 wooden notched sticks, which fitted each other accurately and could be slid easily. At the center of the puzzle was placed a marble, as a reward for solving the puzzle. I needed to slide these sticks to reveal it and get it out. I should say the toy was simply beyond my capability. After I got it, I tried various ways to disassemble it, but never had I succeeded. Disappointed at my own intelligence, I took the dumbest method, trying to exhaust all the possibilities. I wrote down every step I had taken and its alternatives. Once I found I failed again, I would take the other way. After 5 days' endeavor, I finally got the marble. 10.2. Describe a jigsaw, crossword, etc. puzzle you have played. I think puzzles are a good way to challenge our brains. Ever since I was a kid, I have enjoyed solving puzzles. I was always very curious and even used to disassemble and reassemble my toys just to see how they worked. My whole family used to do the Sunday newspaper crossword puzzle together. I have also done many jigsaw puzzles, and here I would like to talk about one that I did a few years ago. On my 18th birthday, my friends gifted me a 500-piece jigsaw puzzle. Before that, I had never solved a puzzle with so many pieces. 100 pieces was the maximum I had done before. The jigsaw design on the box had a beautiful landscape with mountains in the background and a lake in front of it. It looked easy, but when I started doing it, I realized it had a lot of tricky repeating patterns and similar shapes and colors. It was very challenging, and after spending 2 hours on it, I was not even halfway done. I was glad I was doing it on a weekend and didn't have to go to school that day. I started getting frustrated, and at one point I wanted to give it up. I took a 30-minute break and decided to get back on it. The break helped, and I could concentrate better and do it faster. I finally managed to finish it, and in total, it took me about 5 hours to solve it. I felt a great sense of achievement. I was so happy and showed the finished puzzle to my family. I didn't want to break it apart and kept it on my desk for a few days. I redid this puzzle after a few months and finished it a little faster. I have bought many 500 and more pieces puzzles after that, but instead of completing them in one day, I like to keep them on my desk and work 20 to 30 minutes on them every day. 11. Describe a natural talent, sports, music, etc. you want to improve. I would like to level up my potential on traditional brush calligraphy, which I find pretty useful and interesting. Well, it is a type of handwriting, using a bamboo brush that was widely accepted as the main tool to write something in the past when pens hadn't been invented. Now, it has been considered as a personal recreational activity, as we now have more advanced and efficient ways of leaving marks on the paper, such as typing, laser printing, and so forth. Actually, I hadn't realized that I got this talent until last year when I was locked at home for compulsory quarantine. You know, I had nothing to do except for studying and playing online games. Then, my father got me a set of traditional calligraphy brush pens and a copybook on which I could write. It took me only a couple of minutes to get the hang of it. I mean, my handwriting was like 90% the same as those printed samples. My parents were having jaw-dropping facial expressions seeing all my work. So, their recognition has made me work harder on it to kind of tap my full potential on calligraphy. Well, I think I need to polish this skill by paying more attention to the details, such as the force control when I draw the radical of the word. I know I was born with this innate talent of imitation, but that only works well if I put much time and effort into calligraphy. I feel that enhancing this talent is a rewarding experience. You know, with calligraphy, I no longer feel bored. I hope I could keep growing in it. 12. Describe an article on health you read on magazine or the internet. An article about health that I read on the internet was about the nutrition of fruits. It was actually a review article about what fruits were especially healthy for our bodies. It mentioned many kinds of fruits that I couldn't understand completely. But I knew the top two were the apple and avocado. I have heard about the value of apple long ago, and there's actually a saying that goes, "An apple a day keeps the doctor away." But, as for the avocado, I wasn't so sure about that. I once noticed it in the supermarket and ignored it just because of its ugly appearance. Well, the article had informed me that it's a perfect fruit for people who want to keep fit. It's also known as an ideal food for patients with diabetes. I read this online article from Zing News, which is one of the most popular news application in Vietnam. It had a column about nutrition, which provided some tips on whatever might be essential for healthy eating. Well, the reason why I read it was that I was and still am a huge fan of fruits. I wanted to know how to choose healthier ones from an array of fruits in the grocery store so that I didn't need to ponder on what to eat every time I ran out of fruits. I think this article is helpful enough for me to give me some knowledge of picking fruits to eat on a daily basis. I am glad that I read this one. Health Point 2. Describe an article on health you read on magazine or the internet. I have read many articles in my life. Today I will talk about an article about healthy lifestyle that I read last year. I read this article from the website fitness.com. I was browsing through a website when I saw the link to this article. The name of the article was very eye-catching. It was, "Look Younger, Live Longer." I clicked on the link and it opened this article. Nowadays, we all are living a sedentary lifestyle and facing many health-related problems. This article opened my eyes that to become healthier, it was all about making small lifestyle changes. I came to know that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. We should have a healthy and wholesome breakfast and never skip it. This helps boost our immunity and also helps us go through the day with full energy. I have never skipped breakfast since I've read this article and I can concentrate on my work and studies better. I also read that we should have at least one seasonal fruit every day. It also said that walking for an hour a day is as good as 1 hour of gym. Since then, morning walk has become a part of my routine. I used to dislike broccoli before I read this article. However, after reading that broccoli is a very good source of proteins and is full of nutrients, I started having it regularly. I feel very fit and healthy and have rarely fallen sick since I made these small changes. I have bookmarked this article and read it often. I have also shared it with many of my friends and relatives.